everybody, and welcome back to another review of a German ration. This time I will be reviewing Einmannpackung Typ II, which is another German 24-hour ration, and the Roman numerals again indicate that this is a ration that was made no later than 2012. So let's open this up and see what we find. Alright, I'm gonna go through everything in here. Alright, let's see what we've got. First off, we've got 2 Orifo isotonic drink, exotic flavor, and we've got 2 isotonic drinks, grapefruit flavor. We have 2 bags of tea extract, and 2 bags of coffee extract, or, well, instant coffee. We have a bag of, what is this? Zuckerfreier Kaugummi mit Süßungsmitteln. Without using a translator, I would guess this is sugar-free chewing gum with sweetener. We got 4 packs of sugar. We've got this Streichholzbrief, Streich. This is a matchbook, matches. We have an Erfrischungstuch, a wet nap. Small bag of Speisesalz, salt. We've got 2 bags of Kaffeeweißer. This one seems really like it's been lumping up. Yeah, I think this one's bad. Not that I care, because I don't use them anyway. We got 8 water purification tablets. We have Brotaufstrich Naturell. Maybe this is just like butter for spreading onto bread. We've got a pack of Hartkeks Panzer biscuits. We have a can of Roggenschrottbrot. This is the dark rye bread. We have a pack of Bierwurst. This is like a luncheon meat. We have Grobe Leberwurst. This is some kind of pork and pig liver luncheon thing. We have a jam, apricot jam, 25 grams. And we have another jam, Sauerkirsche cherries, maybe. We've got 50 grams of Schokolade, chocolate. We have a can of Obstsalat, so some kind of like, I guess, fruit salad, but not really salad. What do you call it? Like fruit cocktail-like thing. And we have our main entree, Gulasch mit Kartoffeln, goulash with potatoes from beef and pork. And we have Cevapcici Hackfleischröllchen. I guess you could imagine them as like elongated meatballs from mainly pork and beef. We got some rather coarse green paper tissues here. And finally we have this content sheet, which is the same for all type 1, 2, 3, without any specific details about each menu, just in general. And that's it. Something that is worth noting with this is that the type 1 I had before, which is also an early version of the Einmannpackung, is that all the components were manufactured in 2009. In this one, everything I've seen so far that I can remember, 2012, trust me, it says 2012, you get the idea. So I guess this is one of the very last of the early type 2 rations. For once I'm going to do this in the right order. So I'm going to start with having a breakfast. So breakfast has been decided. I will be having the fruit salad, rye bread. I'll be drinking one of the exotic beverages, butter spread, and some of this liver luncheon meat. Coffee afterwards. I will round it off with some chewing gum. Right, I'm hungry. Let's get started. Okay, so first things first. There. I will start by mixing up this Orifo isotonic drink, grapefruit flavor. Some nutrition information. It calls for 400 milliliters of cold water, which I have here. Yeah, this is just a spoon from the kitchen. Let's taste this. I've heard a lot of people actually like the grapefruit drink very much. And as far as I can remember, when I had it in the Type I, I don't recall liking it that much. Maybe it was different, or maybe I had a bad one, or I don't know. But I'm certainly gonna give this one a try and see if I like it better this time. It does taste better than I remember. Maybe the old one was just old. I mean, the bag was different, so maybe it was a different manufacturer. Because the old one was this foil bag with Fantasia print on it. This one was good. It was more like a grapefruit than the other one, as far as I remember. I wouldn't say it tastes exactly like grapefruit, of course, because it's an artificial drink, but definitely has grapefruit flavor and some of the sour grapefruit tang that makes it typically grapefruit. It's very nice. Next up, let's open this fruit salad. 150 grams. So it looks like kind of a mix of fruits in syrup, basically. The smell is a little bit heavy. Definitely smells like mandarin in there. Well, let's check out this bread. A nice resealable container with this plastic lid. So we've got 170 grams of rye bread. There we have it. It's a nice smell. Very dark and heavy from rye. I'm gonna take a few of those out. Here, a couple there. Because I will be checking this Brotaufstrich. That pronunciation is probably horrible. So this should basically be butter, but we'll see. I know I'm not supposed to taste this by itself, but I need to find out what it is. Maybe it's just butter. At least I know what it is. So this is more like a cheese spread, actually. It's not as much butter as I thought it would be, but more like kind of a cream cheese spread thing. Kind of a strange, dry aftertaste, but otherwise it tastes like white creamy cheese, but with no cheese acidity that you can get from these fresh white cheeses. This is more like somewhere halfway between cheese spread and butter. But I will be trying it. But before I try that, let's open this Grobe Leberwurst. 48 grams. Check that out. 2013. That's weird. That means... Here we have it. It smells just like the other luncheon meats I had in the Type I. Maybe a bit more spicy, I don't know, like black pepper spice or something. It feels kind of like a pate when you cut into it. It's a lot softer than the other ones. I'll just taste this right now. This was nice. If you ever had liver pate, like the really brown stuff, and if you've had luncheon meat, this is just halfway between them. A little bit of both. I like this. I'm sure it will be excellent with this bread. I'm gonna put some on right now. So I am now going to taste this fruit. So you see it's very runny, and it just has pieces of pineapple and some mandarin in there. Thick syrup. Here we go. That wasn't as sweet as I expected it to be. I'm sure this gelatin or whatever it is contains a lot of water. It was actually kind of refreshing. The pineapple flavor is very, I mean it's there, but it's kind of toned down. I guess that's what happens to pineapple if you put it in syrup like this. In general, it's a very mildly flavored, not tangy at all, or fruit acidic, more like refreshing fruit mix. Yeah, so the main biggest ingredient is of course the fruits, and then drinkvasser is drinking water. So there's a lot of water in this, and you can tell because it's not heavy at all, like some fruit cocktails can be if they're in a lot of syrup. So very refreshing and nice. I'll just taste this bread on its own first. For some reason I think the dark bread in the older Type 1 was better. Maybe it's just because I just had fruit, so this has a really weird contrast in flavor. Now I'm gonna try it with this cheese spread. Maybe it was a bit thinly spread on there. It didn't give a lot of flavor to it. It didn't taste that much. This bread can get very... I mean, it's not as dry as this shelf-stable wheat bread. Not at all. This is almost like moist, but still, you get thirsty from it. And adding some kind of spread makes you get less thirsty. And it puts a nice mild combination with the dark rye flavor. And now it's time to taste the liver spread on this bread. Sometimes it's good to combine something heavy with something light and creamy to make it a good balance, but it's also good sometimes to combine something heavy with something that also has kind of a dark and heavy flavor like liver, because it just matches and goes well together. And this does exactly that. You can feel the flavor of both the bread and the liver spread, and it's just a nice combination. However, when I buy liver spread at home normally, I usually put butter first, like spread butter on the bread, and then I put the liver spread on top of it. So I have both, so maybe I should try that as well. However, I gotta go get the coffee because I think the water is about to evaporate otherwise, so I'll be right back. Here's the water for the coffee, roughly 200 milliliters of hot water, while the bag calls for 300 milliliters. So let's see what this is like. Yeah, it has this typical burnt flavor that some instant coffee has, but I liked it a lot with less water than the instructions say. Yeah, so it's strong, but it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna try to put both this cheese spread thing and some of this liver pate together. See what this is like. It was okay, but I feel it's a bit of a waste to use both the spread and the pate on the same piece of bread because, I mean, you only have this limited amount and there are 3 more slices here. Now that I had another bite of this, it kind of reminds of some cheddar cheese a little bit. So now I'm gonna finish my breakfast and I'll get back to you when I'm done. Okay, I've come to realize that I'm gonna have to open this Bierwurst as well. I ran out of the cheese spread. And this here, that's not even enough for half a slice, so I gotta use this. This is from 2012 and is 48 grams with equal parts pork and beef. Yep, smells delicious. And as a comparison, you can see the color on the liver spread here that has some liver in it. It's obviously a bit darker, and they're the same basic like smell and flavor, but more of a darker, more liver-like tone in this one. So let me just put some on here, give that a taste. Yeah, definitely more, how should I say, of a more pure pork spam ham flavor than the liver one. But very good, both of them. Slightly different, but basically the same. And a small detail is that this liver spread, you can actually spread it rather easily. Well, the Bierwurst is a bit more dense. It doesn't really spread, you see. Alright, I'm gonna finish the rest of this now. Yeah, this really does make you full up. The cheese spread lasted for about 2 slices, and each of these cans lasted for about 2 slices, and there were 6 slices, so that was a good allocation. Now the Bierwurst, I've had it before, and like I've said earlier, the flavor is very much like some kind of like a spam luncheon meat. And the liver pate, grobe Leberwurst, it's kind of halfway between the Bierwurst and a liver pate. So it's basically like a mix between the two. And if you don't like liver, you might have a hard time liking this, though it's not as intense in liver flavor as the liver pate can be. This bread, of course, I like as well. I buy it sometimes myself. Not exactly this one, but similar ones. It's good bread. It's not just processed wheat flour. And I mean, if you take a look at the ingredients, all you have is rye, water, salt and yeast. I don't even think there's any preservatives in this. Now this fruit salad, it didn't smell like fruit really. It had a kind of a heavy smell, but then when you taste it, it's almost as refreshing as drinking a fruit juice. I really enjoyed this. Very nice. Definite improvement over the other semolina fruit thing I had in the Type 1. And this, the grapefruit drink, I'm more and more convinced now that it's either the one in the Type 1 was old and was starting to go bad and lose its flavor. I mean, not go bad as in turn, undrinkable, but losing its flavor and having more of the chemical residue flavors left. But this one, I can see now why some people say that this is their favorite isotonic beverage. And all that remains now is to have some of these chewing gums. It's a little Ziploc bag, and this is supposed to be spearmint Geschmack. Spearmint gums. The gum was kind of hard to start chewing on. It was a bit too tough in the beginning, but it just needed a couple of minutes to warm up. Okay, so I'm very happy with this breakfast. So I'll see you later today when it's time for dinner. Welcome back to dinner time. For dinner I will be having the Gulasch mit Kartoffeln. I'll be drinking an isotonic drink with exotic flavor. I'll be having some of these Panzer crackers together with some sour cherry jam, some tea and chocolate and some chewing gum. Now I'm gonna go boil some water and let this heat up for a few minutes. There, spoons from the kitchen. Now let's mix this Orifo isotonic exotic flavor. Cheers. I might be a bit confused, but I think this one also tastes better than the one I had in the Type 1 from 2009. So maybe the Fantasia drinks aren't as good as the Orifo ones. Or maybe it's just because they were older. Oh yeah, and there's this little detail. Now, Hartkeks. And yeah, these are the same that are in every German ration, I believe. Oh no, the top two Panzer crackers are broken. Must have been broken by something incredibly powerful. I'll get the broken ones out. And I'll save the remaining 6 for tomorrow. And with these I will be having this Konfitüre Extra Sauerkirsche. 45% fruit. Doesn't smell like much. And after I'm done with this, I'll be having some chocolate from 2012. Nice, no blooming at all. At least 45% cocoa. Now I'm going to try this Hartkeks by itself. Yeah, good. Wheaty flavor, slightly sweet, not salty. Kind of dry, but that's expected, I guess. So this jam had separated a little bit, so I'm just trying to mix it around. I'll just try some like this. Good stuff. Yep, it's okay. It's got a nice cherry flavor, very mild cherry flavor, not very intense. It mostly tastes of sugar, but not that rich in cherry flavor as I thought it would have. I think it's time to go check on the entree, see if it's heated up. Yep, that's done. And it's really hot as well. So let's cut this open, and just in case it explodes. Nope. Let's see. That is steaming still. Yeah, we've got a nice goulash here with potatoes and meat, some vegetables. Seems to have both pork and beef. Yeah, well, I knew that, but I was just reminded now when I saw the different types of meat in here. Should I try this now? Maybe it's too hot. I'll just try some of the sauce here. See what this is like. Maybe I shouldn't have been boiling this or something. Maybe there's some trick to heating these up without making them taste of metal. I think there's a slight hint of metal taste coming through here. I wasn't planning on boiling this. I was just I put the stove on like a medium flame, and I of course forgot, so I should have turned the heat down or something. The sauce tastes like peas. There are peas, or at least there's one pea in here. The sauce has a very strong pea flavor, I think. It's kind of nice. It's very mild flavor, round and mild, not too thick. It's kind of bland almost. And there are carrots as well here with the potatoes, I think. So I'm gonna try some meat. A piece of beef, I believe. It's good. I like it. Maybe a little bit dry, like overcooked, but it's good. I think there's a piece of pork here. I'll try this. Yeah, it definitely feels like this could use something else, like some seasoning or something, but I'm not sure if I have anything that could be useful here. I don't remember seeing any pepper. I'll try some of the salt. A little bit of salt. See if this tastes more. Yeah. Oh, well, that was a bit too much, I think. But yeah, I will definitely add some salt to this. Just very little. I'm honestly not sure if I actually need salt in this, but otherwise it feels like a very. I mean, it's a nice dish. Yeah, I think it's time for me to eat this while it's hot. I'll be back when it's time for tea and chocolate. So I finished my goulash mit Kartoffeln. Now it's tea time. This tea extract calls for 450 milliliters. You can't see that, but now in keeping with the tradition of using less water than called for, when they ask for 450 milliliters, I'm going to use 300 milliliters. Okay, I think it's almost possible to touch it now. Yeah, again, I think it was a good decision to use less water than the instructions say. It's kind of bitter. Maybe I should use a little more water, but I mean, black tea without sugar or milk can be a bit bitter. I think this is just fine. Now, the chocolate. It melts in my fingers already by doing that. No blooming, even if it's over 4 years old. Here we go. Yep, not very dark, but kind of, you know, not like milk chocolate, but not as dark as, say, in the French. It's perfectly fine, and it's really nice. I will finish the tea and the biscuits and the chocolate, but I just have to say that this entree here, the goulash, it was very good. I mean, it's always nice when you have a meal that, you know, you can see what's in it. If it says there's beef and pork and potatoes in it, and you can actually see the actual meat pieces and the diced potatoes, that's good. So it's not super processed, but there was a bit of metallic taste. That could have been my fault since I let it boil. I'm not sure you're supposed to boil these actually. I think you should only warm them up, like heat them up in simmering water, or maybe just, you know, hot water. But boiling them for several minutes might have something to do with it. But flavor-wise, yeah, it was nice. Very mild and not as, what should I say? It felt kind of controlled and kind. Choosing between this one and the one in the Polish ration, I'd say the Polish one is better. But this one is very good. And the biscuits, well, they're nice. This wheaty flavor, and they're extremely hard to bite into. The jam was good. It didn't taste very strongly of the actual berry it was made from, sour cherries. It felt mostly like sugar with sour cherry flavor. I could have used 1 or 2 more of these, because you really have to save it. Just one of these for 6 crackers, there's no way that's gonna be enough. And yeah, the chocolate was nice. No surprises there, it's just chocolate, and it was nice. This exotic isotonic drink, I think I might have to reevaluate my opinion about the isotonic beverages in the German rations. This one was actually pretty nice, and better than I remember it from the Type 1 from 2009. But I guess that's it for today. So I will see you, well, soon. Hello again, so now it's time for the second meal. The main entree is cevapcici. I'll be having the rest of the crackers, the apricot jam, chocolate, isotonic drink with exotic flavor, and finally some coffee and chewing gum. Now I'm gonna go heat this main entree up. There, first things first, like that. So again, I'll start by mixing the drink. The same isotonic beverage I had earlier, exotic flavor. And this won't be any surprise since I had it yesterday, but you never know. No, still good. Now I will be using the rest of the crackers from yesterday. And I'll be having this apricot jam with the crackers. Yeah, got a nice apricot smell. This chocolate will be part of the dessert. And while we're waiting for the main entree to heat up, let's try this. That was kind of very gelatinous. Hope this is still good. It's very tough. I'll just taste that jam a bit first without the cracker. Yeah, it doesn't taste bad, but I mean there's almost no apricot flavor at all. But it's a nice combination with the crackers. However, I think I would have liked the jam to be a little more intense. You see the texture? It's almost rubbery. But like I said, it tastes perfectly fine. Just a bit, mostly sweet. Now I'll go see if our cevapcici have heated up. Well, I just realized I screwed up again with the filming here. Apparently I didn't press record when I started eating this. So I've been talking to myself and not really recording it. But yeah, so I'll try to recap. The flavor of the rice is mostly from the vegetables that were in here. It was peas and corn and bell pepper and some carrots. It was mixed with tomatoes, so that gave it also a bit of a red color. These cevapcici, there were 4 of them, 2 on each side here, and they were made from pork and beef. Very finely ground, tasted like processed meat, and you couldn't really tell what kind of meat it was. Initially I thought that the flavor was very bland and boring, and I decided to add some salt, which in turn made it a little bit too salty. And after a while, when I was eating this, as the mouth gets kind of saturated with all the flavors and the oils and everything, you actually do get more of the flavor out of this, and it wasn't as bad as I initially thought. Not that it was bad, but low on flavor, so a bit on the bland side for me. They could have done something to add more richness to it. Now I'll just finish up these crackers and the jam, and I'll be back. I'm not sure if you can see this. This is, well, obviously one of the crackers, but there are some kind of blackish, dark stains on the surface here. This one you should be able to see. I'm wondering what this is. I have eaten 2 or 3 of these already, and I haven't felt anything funny tasting with them. So I can scratch it off. So I don't think it's something in the actual cracker, it's something on the surface. Not sure what that could be. And like I said, it didn't taste funny in any way. Still makes me feel a bit unwilling to eat the rest of them. Coffee time. The same cafe extract as last time. At least the coffee didn't seem to be moldy. Yep, I made it strong. I like it strong. Still, instant coffee with burnt flavor. Not my favorite really, but I mean, it's okay, I guess. And there's always this, the chocolade. Well, the jam, I don't know, didn't taste like much, mostly sugar, and felt like almost a rubbery kind of gel thing. Okay to put on the crackers to make them less dry and uninteresting. Chocolate is always good. Not very intense cocoa flavor, but it's still a good chocolate in combination with the coffee, which is an instant coffee with the typical burnt flavor. No news there. I mix it a bit stronger because I like it better that way. The main entree, well, kind of bland initially, but like I said, as you keep eating it, your mouth gets saturated by more of the flavors, and it actually starts to taste pretty well. Still not as good as I was hoping for, and the cevapcici was also anonymous and uninteresting. Maybe some pepper would have helped bring this out, but I only added some salt, and the salt didn't really make it a lot better. Maybe a little bit, but not much. It was easy to make it too salty. The isotonic drink with exotic flavor, it's okay. It doesn't feel like overly intense now that I added a little bit more water. I can't say exactly how much, but maybe 450 or something like that instead of 400. So just a little bit more. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review. Bye!